Good afternoon, everybody. Please excuse my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I could not miss this today. And just before I begin, I want to say I asked Fasi Bhai what he done for Mrs. Fasi for International Women's Day, which was on Friday. And he said, well, it was her birthday a few days ago, so she has everything that she needs. So I hope you'll join me in wishing her a very happy birthday. So to talk about the issue of gender and equality and equity, I want to start with a quote. Strong women, may we know them, may we raise them, may we be them. And I can say with complete confidence that there are a lot of strong women that are here in this room today. Starting from the UIC leadership, we've created a chapter of women who are doing amazing philanthropic work, humanitarian work within our community here in Mississauga, and I want you to know that the work that you're doing really makes a big difference. When we talk about making these changes, making empowerment, empowering others to do more, it has to be a collaborative approach. It has to be a collaboration with all levels of government, with civil society, with grassroots organizations, and with individual Canadians in really making that change, making the note that we need to hit. In fact, this year's theme of International Women's Day was about really checking in to see how we're doing, how is the women's movement really doing it, and how do we build better allies, how do we change the narrative of the conversation and where that conversation has been going to be more inclusive and to be more understanding of the male point of view and ensuring that we are bringing in that perspective in how we dialogue with one another and how we try to impact that change. And I think that conversation is very, very important because as I think it was Rizwana who spoke a little bit earlier, how she said with respect to specifically family law, it is in a nuclear family, it is the father and the mother that raise a child. And when we're talking about shifting a narrative, a mindset, the way that we do things, if we are not able to bring in both of those partners to be on the same page in how we should carry forward with each other as a social contract, then we won't impact, we won't have that change going forward, which is in our next generation. So that conversation is very important, and I really commend all of the men that are here in the room today for coming out and for engaging. Please, a round of applause for all of you. I'm deeply touched by the kind gesture to my friend and colleague Salma Zahid. She really went through a very big, a major struggle in her life last year, and as I and all of us in Parliament watched her go through this, I think we all took inspiration from her story and her strength and her resilience and determination to keep fighting. And her ability to overcome this in such a positive way really tells me how strong a leader she is in her community and in Scarborough and all over in the GTA and in Canada, and how effective she is in providing that representation. So I'm really honored to be with her, and I'm so happy that honor was celebrated here today in this room. Now, I want to turn to what our federal government has done with respect to gender equality over the past 3.5 years. I will say that it started with about 5 years ago, when we decided as a party, the Liberal Party of Canada, that we needed to recruit more and more women to get involved in politics. And so looking at the statistics, in the 2015 election, about 49% of the candidates from the Liberal Party were indeed women, which is a huge accomplishment. Now, obviously all of them did not win, but the first step that our Prime Minister took after taking office and forming government was that he ensured that 50% of our cabinet were women. And I think